You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
It is me, your captain, alongside the able DJ Bobby 25 Coast. All right, 41 minutes past 5 o'clock, and we had promised kama kawaida that our guest will be here, and yes, ahadi ni deni, au sio? Asante sana, karibu to the drive show. My name is Ian Kipto. The able DJ goes by the name DJ Bobby 25 Coast. Welcome to the drive show.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Would you start by introducing yourself? What do you do? What's your background?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm Nancy Cheki.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself a marine conservationist.
Okay.
Though I studied environmental management and conservation. I'm also an advocate.
Yeah.
I didn't study law, but what I do is advocate for climate and gender justice. Mm-hmm. That is through the different local community actions that are able to, adapt to the climate change effects that is happening right now globally.
That's happening globally,
yes.
Right. But how did you find yourself in the field of advocacy and all that?
Okay, it's not what I had planned for. Uh-huh. Actually, my career, I really wanted to be a doctor. I even had opportunities to travel to Tanzania. Yeah. But then through, the system, the Kenyan system, educational system, I ended up studying, environment. So, yeah. And later on, I started doing a lot of volunteering through the local community-based organizations here in Mombasa. Right. And then I ended up focusing on mangrove conservation. There I met different community stakeholders. Mm-hmm. We have women, we have youth, we have persons with disability. Mm-hmm. And then I was able to, relate with the challenges that they are facing also, as a result of the effect of climate change. Mm-hmm. And the different, contribution that they are making. So I thought maybe this would be the best thing for me to do, just to help in amplifying their voices and also tell their stories, especially on the work that they are doing, which is really amazing.
All right.
Yes.
That's really powerful. But working with the environment is not a walk in the park, yeah?
Yeah, it is not.
How do you find, or rather, where does your motivation come from?
Okay. It's actually the passion that I have towards conserving the environment. I feel like I have a role to play. Everyone does have a role to play. Mm-hmm. And so if I have that passion and I feel like I can contribute something, no matter how small it is, then maybe I can, influence also other people to join me in making a greater impact. Mm-hmm. And I think that is one of my motivation. And also the different key players that I see, mm-hmm. Because I've met very amazing people in this field. And I feel like they're doing quite an amazing job. And I also want to be part of that community that brings, a greater change.
Greater change to the world, yeah?
Yes.
Amazing. That's powerful, yeah? Yes, now, when you talk about conservation, yeah? Majorly you work with communities, individuals, and stuff like that, yes?
Yes.
How is it, how do you get guys to see or rather think from the same page? Because when you go to a community, mm-hmm. maybe this community has its own goal, this one has their own goal. How do you get them to think in one direction, to think or rather focus on that one particular goal?
Okay, the community is not, I'm not going to say it's like a different group of people. I am part of the community. I form part of the community. Mm-hmm. So when I talk about the community, I mean the people that I live with, so I'm able to relate with the challenges that they're facing. So when I address that kind of challenge or a specific challenge that they're facing, then they're able to know, have that kind of connection. And then it's even easier for them to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And then when it comes to the scientific, knowledge, I tend to localize that knowledge to their advantage because, mm-hmm. We have diverse, range of maybe understanding and the knowledge that the community has. Mm-hmm. So for me, I tend to localize that scientific terms or scientific knowledge to their advantage. It is easier for them to understand.
By localize, you mean translate it into Kiswahili or the local language or How does that work?
Yeah, that is one of the ways.
Okay.
You have to translate it to maybe Kiswahili. Kiswahili, it's more common here in Mombasa. And then also try to share experiences, just linking with the different communities in other countries, and then try to bring that also, or try to relate that with the kind of work that they are doing in our country. And then that becomes easier. So they feel like, okay, it's not just us who are going through this, or it's not just us who are doing this kind of work. Also other community members are doing the same. So that brings more of like a global effort for the community. They feel like they're part of a global movement, of part of a global solution.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, if you're joining us right about now, 46 past 5 o'clock, the show on air is The Drive Show right here on Blue Radio. We are going on a musical break. When we do come back, we're going to be diving a little bit deeper on conservation, mangroves, and everything to do with gender and justice out here. Now, before I do forget, I want to swing this question by you.
Yes.
Today, as a nation, we are rather witnessing demonstrations in the capital.
Yes.
What is your opinion on the whole issue?
Political opinion there. The government has its role to play, and the community or the people, the residents of Kenya or the citizens of Kenya also have a role to play. And also the opposition. The opposition also has a role to play. But I feel like this demonstration should be done in a very peaceful manner, because there are different ways of how we can advocate for our issues. Even in environment, there's also different, advocacy efforts or different advocacy levels that we can, try and issue out our challenges or our problems. So I feel like we should do that in a very peaceful way, because, throwing stones and all that is really not going to make things easier. Already the situation is there. So let's adopt ways of how we can have peaceful communication, or rather peaceful advocacy strategies that can really bring, good changes or even bigger changes, and let our government leaders understand that these are the problems that we are facing as a nation. Then how can you go about them, or what are the solutions that you can give to the citizens of Kenya?
Amazing. All right. I think this is the perfect time to go on that musical break. All right. That has been the DJ special courtesy of the one and only DJ Bobby 25 Coast. All right. Kama uko kwa mitandao mazee, hit that fire emoji for the super selector. Au sio? Wagwan. 3 minutes past 6 o'clock. You are tuned into the Blue Drive, the second hour of the show, where we're having that fire conversation. Au sio? Now we're going to be picking it up from where we left off. Yes. And you're wondering, what are some of the ways as a community, as individuals, we can help, or rather aid our oceans and environments to be safer, to be better, And none other than Nancy right here to answer those questions. So if you have any question for her, you can head on to our social media pages at Blue Radio KE and forward your questions. I'll see you.
Yeah.
We're going now. But then when you speak about changing behaviors, we cannot forget that educating communities where we come from is one of the major highlights, or one of the ways we can get a very, very high impact. I'll see you.
Yeah.
How do you go about educating such communities? What methods do you use? How do you ensure that, you reach the most important people, like their leaders, the young people like ourselves, to be part of the program?
Okay. So what I do is try and create that conducive environment for partnership. You also have to understand what is the kind of relationship we have as an individual, as an organization, and also them as a community.
Okay.
Yes, so we try to, involve the local authorities. You can have wazee wa mtaa. And also through wazee wa mtaa is when you can have even, a greater influence towards the community. And then we also go to different group leaders, because in these community settings we have group leaders.
Yeah.
So we go to them And that's how we are able to share that knowledge or that information with them. And then also try and join hands together in trying to, do the same activities that they're doing. If it's a climate action, maybe through mangrove restoration, you join hands, like you contribute towards that activity. Yes. So let it not just be, we are just talking about, things that are there, and then we are not doing things, because the problem that you're facing right now is there's a lot of talk and no action. But then if we can have more action and also integrate that with the talks that we have, with the scientific knowledge that we have, with the different experiences that we have, then I think we can impact greatly to the community.
We can have a greater impact. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, as a marine conservation, is it a conserver? I'm a conservationalist.
I had a really great challenge. Just call me a conservationist. There's some who say conservator. I don't know what that means, but yeah, a conservationist is what I'll go with.
All right. Now, one of the things that is at the forefront, of conservation is humans, because we directly impact, the environment, And when you're being told, to use alternative means of energy, let's say for cooking, traveling, we are very lenient, or rather hard, when it comes, to move or rather change our ways. How are we supposed, to change, or rather have a change of mindset when we, how are we supposed to approach such a situation so that we can, have a positive impact, first of all, on the environment, and secondly, on ourselves and our lifestyles?
Yes, it's all about positive behavioral changes. And yes, humans contribute a lot towards, environment. It can be positively or negatively. According to the stat of World Mangroves, they say human contribute up to, 60% of the mangrove loss. And yes, so you can actually see how, the kind of effects that human activities have. And when you talk about behavioral changes, it's all about the attitude that people have. Attitudes towards, protection of the environment, towards conservation of the environment. And this change also works hand in hand with different systems, because you cannot just rely on, the human mindset and how it, behaves towards different, situations. We can integrate that with, system changes. Here I talk about the policies that are there, because I'll give you an example. Like in Kenya, when we had the ban of plastic, plastics in Kenya, you saw everyone now started using the other kind of bags. So that was like a policy that was already introduced to the people, and whichever way you just had to follow it. So if we can have also policies that are able to influence such behavioral changes, and we can achieve what we want to achieve. And then another thing is technological advancement or development. Now is when you've mentioned about the renewable energy. The renewable energy part. For example, the use of you've heard of jiko koa.
Jiko nimesikia.
Yes, so it uses clay. And clay is a a non-conductor of heat, so it actually helps to reduce the heat that will be emitted to the environment. So it actually reduces that heat that will be emitted to the environment. So people used to use the other metallic kind of jikos, but then through that, the technology development, they're able to get the understanding that when you use this jiko, you're able to conserve the environment. You're able to pay less. You're able to go even maybe cook if it's the githeri that we use that uses a lot of charcoal, then you're able to use even less. And then there's the use of briquettes, which is now the modernized charcoal, I call it that. It's also helpful because I call them green energy. They reduce, they emit less carbon dioxide compared to, the fossil fuels, that is the charcoal and the rest. So if we can have such, technological advancement or developments, if we can have systematic changes through the policies that can be addressed by the governments, and also, the international community, then the behavior of people also changes, because who wants to be, impacted negatively? People want to live, right? And if there's a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and then diseases now starts breaking out, if you're able to also make the community understand that if you can lower the emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, you're also elongating your days here on earth, then who does not want to live for long? I want to.
By the way, everyone wants to live for longer. Yeah. Amazing. Speaking of living, wanasema we eat to live ama we live to eat?
We eat to live.
We eat to live, yeah?
Yeah.
We cannot forget fish and the marine ecosystem as a whole. And we do understand, there's some creatures, or rather plants, that are endangered and, are almost disappearing, like the mangroves, yeah? Especially, I'm going to be drawing my emphasis on the fish, and because fish is a staple food, let's say in Mombasa and the country as a whole. What can our fishermen do, so that they ensure that they do their part when it comes to marine conservation? Because as much as we are talking about the land and mangroves, whatever is outside the ocean, whatever is inside is even more important.
Yeah. So what the fishermen can do, it's quite simple. First, if there are community conservation groups that are there, they can be part of it, part of the community groups. From there, they can learn, how they can maybe conserve those mangroves. You'll find fishermen in Miritini, the areas of Miritini, actually part of conservation groups. You'll find also in Mshomoroni, the fishermen who are also part of those conservation groups, and actually doing a great job. They're actually planting, or let me say restoring the mangroves along the Chuda Creek, because where the mangroves are is along the Chuda Creek. And also when it comes to fishing, try not to overfish, because also overfishing is another way of us not having the fish that you want to have.
Definitely.
So maybe if you can regulate the way we fish, maybe have modern, fishing methods or modern fishing systems, or then equipment, then we can try and fish for mature organisms or mature fish, then going for the fingerlings, the small fish. Yes. When we go and harvest fish, or we go and fish a huge amount of the fish population, and then now we take, let me do this in a layman's language, you take the mother and the child, then how do you expect the child to grow and and then produce? So let's have those. If the fishermen can follow the regulations, because there are also regulations that have been set. So if you can have those regulations and avoid overfishing, and just fish for enough or mature fish, and then leave the small ones to continue producing, then I feel like we can, have a better harvest even in the coming future.
All right, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, 2 minutes to 6:15, where we'll be coming up with that social update, where we get to update you maze what is happening in the social media world, hapa Kenya hadi kule nje, Europe, Asia, wherever you think, wherever you can name it, we have all the juice coming right up on the social update.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
Yes, man, that is the Marvin's Group with Overdose, playing right here on the Drive Show. Welcome once again, 21 past 6 o'clock, and it is once more time for the social update.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
All right, now, did you know that the newest member, or rather the newest individual to be inducted into the Spotify Equal program is none other than Sylvia Saru? Yes, mnamjua by her stage name Saru. But this Saru is yeye ni mkazi wa hapa Taita. So kwa wanangu wale wanatoka Taita, you're smiling, but you're from Taita.
My mom is from Taita, so yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm also from Taita.
So basically you're from Taita.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So Saru is the third female to join Spotify's Equal program, au sio? Now her major tracks will be played hapo hivyo. Kuna playlists zitakuwa compiled rather, and what is more interesting is that her pictures will be shared in New York Times. So if you are a fan of Saru, if you're a lover or a champion for women music, especially in Africa, this is a very, 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 very big win.
From Mombasa, Kenya, this is Blue Radio.
All right, karibu tena. Now, we are back to the conversation of the day, all about conservation, all about advocacy with one and only Nancy. Now, unajua, I've not dived into what you do specifically or where you are based, yes? You were telling me about how I can register for X amount. Hiyo mimi sitasema, ndacho uambie wasikilizaji.
Sure.
Yeah, so where can we find the organization if you want to register?
Okay, so currently I work with Young Women Christian Association, or you can call it YWCA. YWCA is a membership organization with the main mission of empowering women and girls, and it has different branches in Kenya, usually 7, and there's one in Mombasa. So in Mombasa we have 2 offices, in Kizingo and one in Likoni. So when I talk about membership organization, that means we include more members in our organization, as much as it's a women, young women Christian association. We also have men there as our associate member. I know you are asking us, now that I'm a man, am I also allowed to to register? Of course you're allowed to register. So when you come in a group, like you have a group of yours that you want to join and be members of the Y community, you pay 350 shillings per individual when you come as a group. But when you come as an individual, as Kipto, you pay 1,000, and it's usually renewable. Yes.
Yearly, yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Now, in this segment of the conversation, you're going to be diving a little bit deeper into the advocacy bit. I'll see you. Now, when you talk about equal involvement for women and girls, yeah, how are you ensuring that more women, more girls get their voice heard when it comes to matters climate?
Yes.
Yeah.
As an individual or as an organization?
Yes.
For the organization, of course, we have many programs that are targeting, women, usually to amplify the voice of women, women and girls in the society. We work with different community groups, and we try to empower them. We mentor them. We also, provide capital for different, businesses that they can run. This way we are able to, uplift their livelihood, also the livelihood aspect, and also improve their living standards. Yes. So as an individual, I also try to work with, the women, a lot of women and girls in my society. Through YWCA, I have been able to form a young women movement. It's a group of women who advocate for issues of, the women's right, especially, gender justice. And we do this via the social media, Twitter. Yeah, when you go into our, my Twitter page, you'll find, young women, or you can get the hashtag Women Movement for Climate Justice. Yes. And then they also engage themselves with different, community activities. We plant trees. We mentor the students. We mentor, the young girls in the community. Yeah, and basically that's what I do. Yeah.
Now, the organization, as you've said, it's open to everybody, but gives it's open to everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
And now for women or girls who want to maybe learn skills like weaving and that kind of thing, tailoring, whatnot, let's say something that is not in line with climate and stuff like that, are you opening the doors to them, or are you guys majorly objective about climate only?
Oh no, we have different programs that we run. Yes, we have CVE, where we try and counter violent extremism in the society. We have sexual reproduction and health program, and then we have the climate change project or program. In these different programs, we have women that come and we try to influence even their way of, thinking, their way of, the way they relate also with the different challenges. Could be individual challenges, could be societal challenges, and we try to, improve their livelihoods, like I've, mentioned before. And we do not really have an aspect of, trainers that are there in our organization, but through the project, we are able to link them with different trainers. Yeah, so we call upon, actually we do a lot of partnerships and collaborations with different institutions, so that way we are able to even reduce the cost for them, because you'll find like a group of women, have to pay some amount of money to these tutors, and then they come get, the skills. But for us, we do it for them. We go and create that partnership or collaboration, and then we call about these trainers. They're able to, give them that skill, give them that knowledge. Then in other way, we are also able to have like a chain reaction. I don't know whether to call it that. So after these women are, given that knowledge and skill, we also try and, get them to understand that they can share that experience or share that knowledge also with the other, with the other women or girls in the society. So yeah, that way we can even create even a greater community that is more empowered.
All right, now we are heading to the final segments of this conversation. But before we do that, what is the greatest, and I mean hii yenye umekaa chini ukasema this is the greatest challenge you've encountered while in your line of duty?
The challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know whether the greatest. I think they're all challenges that come. One could be the different reactions that I get, in my line of work. Another one could be the way, as much as we say we have gender equality, or we are advocating for gender equality, but then the spaces for women are there. But I feel like sometimes kuna ile vizuizi zinakuja. Yeah, I feel like we have more men in our field, so somehow you have to struggle to get there. You have to really show that you are capable, because sisi women, we try our best. Personally, I try my best, but if I can have also different, even the men in our society holding, my hand, like what you're doing right now, and also other men who are able to hold the hands of, these women who are really trying to make it in this field. Then I feel like, we can get there. So those are some of the challenges that I face along my line of duty. Along the line of duty,
Now, more importantly, maybe there's a young woman or young girl listening in, or, going through their social media and come across this conversation, How is it important for women to be involved, first and foremost, in marine conservation and basically taking care of the environment as a whole, and secondly, to advocate as you are doing for women's equality, in not only in spaces when it comes to climate and such, but every other aspect of law, business, every other aspect, that women are not given or are denied.
Yes. We cannot, when you're going to a doctor and you're suffering a certain disease, you cannot ask if we are together, or if you are, okay, it's you and I, we've gone to the doctor and you're the one who's sick. So when you're seeing that doctor, you don't ask me to go see the doctor on your behalf, because he will not be able to tell what your sickness is. But if you're able to, meet the doctor and explain to him what you're suffering from, then the doctor can prescribe even good medicine for you. So it's the same way in our field, and also generally. If we can have more women coming into or on the decision-making tables and advocate for the issues that they are facing, them as women. Because as women, we go through, different challenges compared to men. But then if we are able to, embrace these spaces, go into the decision-making tables, meet up with different stakeholders in the community, share out our problems, or, share out our issues, then we can, get the solutions towards them.
Amazing. Now, this is the part where we come in with the good news, each and every day. Are there opportunities available at your organization specifically, you know, for women and for the general public that you'd like to extend or rather share with the public, and also like inform any young women or girls out there, you know, if they want to pursue careers or opportunities in marine conservation and the environment in general, how can they best approach the whole topic? And you know, if they need advice, you know, maybe starting communities, maybe they want to join your group, how can they do it? What steps should they take?
First, they have to be members, because we mostly, you know, extend those benefits to our members. We are trying to build that, you know, big community. And also what they can benefit from that is the different trainings that we offer. We have a lot of trainings that I feel can empower them, you know. And then there are also different opportunities. You can, you know, get sponsorship to even travel to different countries of the world. It may not be traveling, it may also be like online, you know, online opportunities also for them. Yeah. Recently I traveled to, you know, the Sharm el Sheikh for the COP27. That I could not have done if it were not also me being a member of YWCA, as much as I am a staff. So yeah, such opportunities, we always share them first with the members. So it would be good if, you know, the community, the girls, the women can, you know, join the Y community. I always call it Y community. Yeah, the YWCA. Yeah, so that they can benefit from this. Yes.
All right. This is the moment where we go for that musical break. When you do come back, yeah, we're going to be wrapping things up and also going through the social pages just to find out if you have any questions, or rather have any questions for our guest.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
Having that conversation, Maze, about blue economic conservation with the one and only Miss Nancy. I don't know if I've gotten that right, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. Now, we are coming to the tail end of this conversation. But before we do that, yeah, I believe our guest has something special for you. Ausio?
Yeah.
Well, go on, take it away.
Okay. I don't know whether to call that special. Okay, we have a paybill number. I think I'd forgotten to, you know, include that. Yeah, man. So we have a paybill number if you want to be a member of YWCA. It's actually... okay, the business number is 230685, and then the account name is your name. For example, Kipto, and then you add membership. Okay. Yes. All and right. That is just it.
That's how it's going.
Yeah, you become a member. So 350 per individual if you come as a group, but 1,000 as an individual. All right. Yes, renewable. Annually. Yes.
All right. Now we have come to the tail end, and I know we have kept you here for a while, but thank you for coming through, for sharing your knowledge and your insights.
Yes.
Before we release you, do you have any final we like to call it a parting shot? What is your parting shot for today?
Okay, I always want to encourage, you know, women and, you know, young girls, that we have been given the opportunity, we have been given the platforms that is for us to go take those platforms or those spaces that are there for us. And let us not shy away from issuing what we have or the challenges that we face. Let us, when we identify a stakeholder, an investor, let's go for it. Let's go and introduce ourselves. Let's go and share out our beliefs, what we believe in. Let's go and share out our work, what we do. You know, that way we are able to, you know, create that opportunity for ourselves, because there's no one will come then give you that opportunity, but it's for you to go get it. It's for you to go, you know, grab that opportunity for you. And also, I really want to appreciate all the listeners, and also to appreciate Blue Radio for having me today. Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, the pleasure is definitely ours.
Naogopa nisije kufa kisa mapenzi, naogopa unavyoninyanyasa siwezi, naogopa. Wow, ni Daz Like You Do Chapa aka The Future, niko ndani ya the Blue Radio. I'll see you bringing the vibe next to you. Siondoke mtu wangu, ni mbaya.